What's going on, everybody? Welcome to EBA Today, Episode 7. I'm your host, The Truth JGW, and I appreciate y'all checking me out. Today's show is going to be a little bit different. The original purpose of this show was to kind of fill in the gap between when Mags and Ice did their shows. But Ice started doing his show a lot more frequently, so there's no need for me to do a show. Well, there wasn't a need for me to do a show. But I got kind of, I heard people saying that, they want more or, different point of views or whatever. So I'm going to do one, but it's going to be different from the ones I had before when I had a bunch of people who just kind of talk trash or whatever. This one's going to be just a one-on-one interview with Space Jam Shump, so, just check it out. Alright, everybody, I got my guest with me today, Shump, Space Jam Shump. What's going on?
Not much, man, just chilling.
I appreciate you taking the time out to do this with me. So my first question to you is, who is Space Jam Shump?
Well, I am 23 years old from Virginia. I go to Old Dominion University. I'm a senior there this year. I'm graduating with a double major in criminal justice and sociology. I don't really know what else, without getting too personal. I'm a cool and funny guy. Like to play Xbox a lot on my free time. So
I was gonna say, how the hell are you about to graduate college and still got time?
Hey, see, this has been my hardest semester though, for real. I really haven't been on as much because I'm taking 7 classes, so I can make sure I graduate this semester. So.
All right, well, congratulations to you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see. I chose the hard way in life, so go ahead and get that degree. Go ahead and get that degree and get that money.
This ain't too much better. All this debt I got.
Trust me, I know. So for a while now, or since the beginning of EBA, I've always seen your gamer tag around. You was Shumper Life, right?
Yep. Yes, sir. Yep.
And before, you didn't really say too much in the forums or anything like that. So, and you've gotten more and more involved as the season goes. So tell me about the first few seasons of, how did you get into the EBA and all that?
Well, I used to, as everybody knows, Dimes, of course. Now he's getting ready to play for $250,000. He used to play with a guy. I think his gamer tag was Lockdown. I think, if I'm not mistaken. The first season I ever came in, I was playing with them on Portland, and I was actually an all-star the first season. And then after that year, I didn't go. I ended up. I can't remember who the owner of the team was. He played VFL too. I can't even remember his name. But then I went on and just started playing on by myself. I think the next season I was Jeff Teague or something like that. And then Fab and them started. Fab and JT, of course, they all got their teams. So the season after that, I believe I played on Patrick Beverly with Fab with Fab and Ramo, the year that we won it with the Rockets.
Uh-huh.
And then from there on, after that I played Rudy Gay with JT and Fab, and then after all of us after everybody realized us being together probably isn't too great for the league, and everybody started getting us bidded up, everything like that.
Yeah.
Last season, of course, the All-Star season I played for, who was my owner? I can't, might have been Beastie. Beastie was my owner. Yeah, Beastie was my owner. And then I played point guard for him, and then, of course, I played for Farrah. Last year I was the GM for Farrah. And then this year I decided to take owner and got lucky with the Warriors.
You lucky son bitch. We're gonna back up a little bit. Did you know Fab and JT before you started playing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We Fab, JT, Dimes, Raymond, Shots, all of us played GB. I didn't play with them. I played with a buddy. But I always used to match up with them and stuff when we were playing GBs. Then I started playing with them. And then they got me hooked up into Bad News League, the Money League, in 2K15. And then after that, I played with them ever since. And of course, now Fab doesn't play with us, but I've still played with JT and Shots and Ramo.
All right, let's talk about that a little bit. What happened? Like, everybody seemed to be kind of cool with each other, and then it's just like a split right down the middle between all the Money League guys. Like, that just, I don't know. Like, Fab and JT used to play with each other, and now they don't. Like, what happened?
I mean, I don't know too much. I know they kind of. Everybody, Space Jam's a bunch of egos, including myself. We all think we're the top of the top, which, I mean, in my opinion, we are, regardless of what happened today. But kind of just butted heads. And last year, they were all trying to qualify for the Pro-Am shit, and they never qualified because either, like, Fab had homework one week, other people had to do different things another week, they would come late, like, you know, they never really took it serious. And I think after that happened, it kind of just is what really broke us apart. It just always arguing, like, if we couldn't take a loss. We still can't today. Like, I was in the party today and everybody arguing or, like, doing this, doing that, saying what we could have did better, like, we shouldn't have took this team lightly. Like, it's a loss really hurts our roster if we lose. Like, we can't stand losing, which, I mean, any grown man shouldn't want to lose games.
Let's talk about Space Jam a little bit. Who's all in Space Jam?
Well, it's the starting five would be JT, Shots, Space Jam Bus, which is Busta Yeah, who also used to play in EBA or VBA, I think is when he played actually. And then Ramo and Hotshot or JC. And then there's me. There's Easy Money, who was on the Grizzlies this season. There's Gabe. Gabe is on our roster. King Mizark is on was on our roster. And then I'm trying to think. DL is on our roster as well. Like pretty much everybody except Miz is on our Money League roster as well.
So did the same starting five play every game this tournament?
Yeah, the same five played this tournament.
Okay. Well, my next question is, what do you like about the EBA that makes you stick around and play? Because I know y'all got the Money League and everything. Like, you really don't need to play EBA if you want to get your 2K fix. But what makes you keep coming back to play?
I mean, I think I have the most games played in the EBA, like on the site right now too. Honestly, if I'm not mistaken, unless somebody passed me this season because of forfeits. But I don't know. It's a cool setup. Of course, I like all you guys, like you, Truth, James, Ice, Mags. All y'all do a good thing. It's fun being able to, this year was extremely fun for me being an owner, getting to put stats in, everything like that. Just the stat system, I think, is what keeps a lot of people around, being able to see, what you're averaging each week. And then the variety of players, like, for instance, this is like the first season we got the Cavs in our Money League. This is the first season, like, we've ever used, like, a good team, really. And EBA, you're always pretty much guaranteed a good team. So, I mean, I think that's another thing that really keeps me around. I'm looking forward to playing with different good players, top players. And then the competition. Like, for instance, like, Ramo's not on my team in this league. So, I got to match up go against his team and figure out how to beat him when in the Money League I'm playing with him. So, I'm playing with one of the best bigs in the game.
Yeah. Speaking of him, real quick, you think he's going to quit the EBA since he lost today?
No, I don't. I mean, I see him. If I'm not mistaken, earlier he was playing private team ups. So he hasn't uninstalled 2K yet. So I don't see it happening.
Because I know everybody said as soon as they lost, he's gone.
It happened when we were on the Kings. He was on an MVP season with Willie Cauley-Stein, and we lost that tournament, or we didn't qualify, and bang, he was done. But he hasn't took it out yet, so I think he'll continue to play.
Because wouldn't this be? I could be wrong. His first season finishing, or because I know he quit a couple times.
He had an MVP season with KD when I was on in the VBA. I know that they won a ring, or actually they might have lost that year. I can't remember. I'm trying to think if he played any other seasons. I know he quit Willie Cauley-Stein. The Rockets, when we won with the Rockets, he played the whole season.
Okay. And that's the season y'all won too, right?
Yeah. Any season that he's played, we've won, but when he's quit, it went bad.
Well, let me ask you this. Of course, you know a lot of the Money League people. Why is it that they seem to just quit, just like for one reason or another? Is it because sometimes they just get on bad teams and, well, I got the Money League, I don't need this, or like what goes on?
I mean, even from my viewpoint, which, I mean, it is good and it isn't good at the same time. I think a lot of those dudes, they hate that they have these scheduled times that they have to show up and, play, compared to the Money League when if they got 5 on, they can play 5. Which, I mean, I know when you're running a league like this, you have to have a scheduled time, but when compared to like I said, when the Money League, you can play whenever. You don't have to be on at 9, 10, 11 and play those 3 games, and it's like that kind of thing. Which is like DL, for instance. Like DL is on my team. He's on my Space Jam team. He's in all of our chats. Like he quit on us this year because he got the Warriors. So I mean, maybe he wasn't. That could have been him not enjoying, like for instance, Draymond Green, and he wanted to go play KD or Curry with his friends. So I mean, it boils down to if you're playing with people that can help you stay. If you don't know anybody, like you might not want to play. But yeah, so and pretty much that. But shout out to the ones that actually do stick around and pull through.
Yeah, because at first I figured all of y'all would just quit, but guys like you, Mizzy, y'all stick around, and y'all like really surprised me, and you and Mizzy like end up taking up ownership and starting to get more involved into it, which I like, and to kind of diversify who our owners are and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But my next question is like, what would some of the changes you would like to see from EBA, or what could be better, what could be, all that?
I previously discussed the TC system definitely needs work. I don't like everybody else says. I don't know if you can do much about it, how you can fix that, but I mean, I feel like people's taking shots at me, for instance, like on shows for blacklisting people, but I can't make the people say they're gonna play or they're gonna show up. I can't do that, and I'm getting heat because I got Ruthless out of a TC draft, which is a great player for a free player, for a call up. But I mean, there's nothing you can really do about TCs. The only thing that I could say, I would say 3 lines, but that 3-line season I hated that season. I hated it so bad.
Yeah,
it was terrible. And I mean, other than that, I wish there could be more things like this going on where you might interview somebody, even if it's a one-on-one, more shows. I mean, I know Ice does his show every week, Mags does his, Trainer just started trying to do one. More involvement, more on the forums, I would say, would probably make it a little bit better, more active, because people might come and see the site and like, oh, I'll play, but the forums aren't popping every day, and compared to like our group meets, which are always going off throughout the day. But I mean, I like the way it's going, and I mean, I just read Mags give us a force read, and I read that like they said the pro league's coming, so I mean that's a plus, which will obviously gain more interest into the site as well. So
right. I lost my train of thought. Okay, there we go. With these owners, I know a lot of people saying like, the TCs is a problem. But my question is, why I don't know, like when they pick up people and then immediately need TC, where there are plenty of people out there that can play, that are willing to play, and these people always get overlooked. Like, I'll say Z, actually, he's on staff. He might not be like the best EBA player, but I will always have somebody that's going to always show up over somebody who's like good but not going to show up, or I don't know. So why do you think these owners are kind of Do you think it's just they're picking up friends, or
As in, like, when they're bidding? Is that what you mean by that?
yeah, by bidding, yeah.
I mean, just from me bidding this year, I mean, I got everybody that I wanted to, regardless. I think I had 3 people quit this season, which, I mean, it sucks, but it happens. But yeah, I think they look at the names, is what I would say. You know, you see people around seasons before. You know, people from money leagues. Like, people are always going to go after those people first, which sucks because people do get left behind. Like, for instance, I've talked to him before. I think I used to play. Yeah, I think he played BFL. I used to play against him in that. I mean, obviously, you want somebody who's going to show up, and I've gotten blessed. I haven't had any forfeits, which, I mean, it could be because I have the Warriors. People just want to play then. But I haven't had to, like, I think I had a TC once, I think is what I had this year. My 2 dudes that I drafted in the TC draft worked. All my people that I bidded on, even when I've had to have call-ups from blacklists and stuff, they've all wanted to play. The ones that I haven't had the blacklist, I've wanted to play. So, I mean, I guess it's people talk to the people, but, like, for instance, like Revol's situation, like, people are just quitting on him, which I feel bad for him because Revol's a good dude, he's a good owner. People are just giving up on him. I feel kind of bad because he told me that they all started quitting after we played them and beat them by like 40 because they said there was no hope for the league. Like, it's just done. Which it sucks. It sucks. Yeah. That definitely sucks. I've been on the ass end of beatdowns before, so I mean I know how that feels. But I guess they're just mostly bidding on names and think they have talent from that. They don't really look at people as availability as much.
Right. Do you think part of the problem is they're afraid to kind of step out of their comfort zone? Because a guy like I say Revolves, he pretty much bids the same team, but every year, and they kind of like quit on him. Yeah. So, like, what's the point of, like, bidding on them again? Abyss is another guy that kind of gets some of the same people. Mm-hmm. Trainer gets some of the same people. And they, like, the same group of guys always quit on them. So do you think they're kind of afraid to step out of their comfort zone, or they just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're just used to playing with those dudes, maybe, necessarily. So they're like, oh, well, they're not going to quit this season, you know, like, maybe we'll get a good pick, which most of them have. I mean, a top 10 team's a good team on this league. So, I mean, anybody could win with any team in this league if people stick around. So I guess, like you said, I guess it's just their comfort zone. They don't want to play with somebody new. And, you know, I didn't know Dan this year. I mean, I've played with Beastie. I've played with Farrah. I didn't know Titan, like Titan and Dan. They've both played good. I never played with Eurostep before. He's played good. Mm-hmm. I guess it's more like people are scared. Like, you know, you don't want, for instance, freaking getting some power forward that can't shoot and dudes are out. Like, they might not know who they're playing with and out shooting jumpers or something like that, just because they may not know how 2K works or something like that, I guess is what they're scared of.
Why is it, do you think, that more people don't do, like, actual scouting? Because I remember last season, as soon as Cleveland Forever got the Warriors, like, within 2 days, he said he was done with scouting, and he had, like, a whole week before bidding and during bidding. Like, you know, like, why don't people scout more?
Well, first off, you got a bunch of trolls in this league, so when you're scouting, you know, screenshots get taken of whoever's in the game, you know, and then you got people, you know, if I put a random person on KD this season, and, you know, like, for instance, Woody was playing a lot of, like, scouting games with me this year, and he played most of the games that I was in, honestly, just trying out different people, different places, and Woody went on the bid 'em up list. I mean, Woody's a good player, but, I mean, like, just the fact that somebody's going to look at my screenshot and say, oh, he's trying him out at KD, let's bid him up, you know? Right. After I seen that kind of stuff, you know, I started getting secretive, like, I'm not going to try you out, like, I trust you, you know, I've seen most of my players play, so
yeah,
it was just, it was what it was at that point. But I guess for these other owners, they kind of get set on a team, or like one dude tells them how to build a line. For instance, Evidence did it this season with Fab. I mean, granted, he's never been an owner in EBA, or I don't even know. Was this his first season ever playing the EBA?
Yeah, but to his credit, he's been in the VFL a long time.
He's been in the VFL, so he knows what it is.
Yeah, so he knows like this whole thing. Yeah, so he's not completely new, but yeah.
Yeah, like he did the smart thing. Don't get me wrong. Go out and get one of these big name players, Ramo, JT, Fab. Go do that. You know, let him build a line. But then I don't think he scouted any for for the other line. He just said, "Oh, I'm gonna get Fab and his line, and the other line will be whatever. You know, whoever I can get good for Lillard and put 4 good people around him, hopefully." But I mean, I guess you just really need to look at names in the thing, you know, maybe check their clips. Like I checked some people's clips out when I was looking at them. You know, if I wanted them to play a few games with me, I did.
Yeah. My next question is playing against, and now you have playing with the Warriors. Do you think they should be banned next season?
I'll say the same thing that I said last season when they were putting up the ban, when they had to vote on it. I voted no not to ban them because we are a sim league. The Warriors aren't getting banned in real life, which, I mean, I know you can't take 2K in real life. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a way better roster than Crow had last year, and granted, Crow won. There wasn't as much comp as there is, and I'm not guaranteed to win this year. I've had struggle games all year against the Clippers, struggle games against the Grizzlies because they're good users. But I think the Warriors are by far the best team. Don't get me wrong, but wouldn't you say the Cavs are by far the best team in the East? You know, like what team in the East has what the Cavs have? Like who can match up with Kyrie and LeBron if KD and Curry aren't in the league?
Yeah, see, my whole argument was to get rid of the Warriors and the Cavs.
Yeah, that's what mine is. Yeah, if you're gonna ban the Warriors, ban the Cavs, because my roster on the Cavs this year, I might have had 5 losses if I had my roster on the Cavs this year.
Right. See, I said Warriors, Clippers, Cavs, Raptors, and then go from there. But I didn't win that.
Yeah. See, I said the thing that I said the most is if they're trying to get rid of a team, then why not just say, oh, you can't for this season. You know, we'll go all the teams drafted or all the teams that didn't make playoffs. You can pick the teams that didn't make playoffs. Like if you made playoffs last year, that team cannot be picked. Yeah. For instance, like this season, I think the best team would have been either the Clippers or the Raptors that didn't make playoffs last season.
And the only reason why I'm against that is because I honestly, truly, deeply don't want to play like with the Jazz, or I don't want to be stuck on like a super sorry team. That's the only thing I have against it.
I understand that, and that's why, like I said, that's why people play EBA because they want to use these good teams, which is another reason that I don't think the Warriors. Which, like I said, if they're going to ban the Warriors, obviously, like I told my team was asking me in the chat after we finished first this year, they were like, so if they have to ban the Warriors, what are you going to say? I was like, hell yeah, ban the Warriors. I had my fun with them.
Yeah, you got you might have your ship with them,
yeah. Yeah, I had my fun with them. Why not?
All right, well, let's talk a little about this ongoing season. Of course, y'all have the best record and all that. Tell me about like who you got on your team and what's going on with your team.
Oh well, the Warriors are trickier to play with than you think when it comes to a 5v5. But I mean, obviously they're brain dead too. But I was good, and like we got me and one Curry. I went after Curry's first, so I went and got me, and then I got Shots, which are two. I mean, I don't usually play point guard, but I've been playing point guard pretty good in EBA for the past 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. So I said Shots can also run point guard. He's a really good player as well, and it's somebody that I'm comfortable with. Where, for instance, we get into Game 7, I can put him on Curry, I can put him on KD, and be fine with it. So I went out and got 2 good players, myself and him, and then I went after that. I went for bigs is what I did, because big man would be like big man and Draymond's are like I would say the worst position on the team, but it can be the best. Right. So I got Beastie and Farrah for both, I think, $500K. Nobody bid on either one of them. So my whole team, after the draft, I was $4 million short of what I was desired to have. And then I went after my KDs after I had my 2 big men locked up. And everybody so far, I mean, like I said, my 2 TCs I had, for my draft, I had Dan, who's played every game in the season. I have Fallout, who's been switching between the 4. I think he might have played the 2 as a call-up as a TC one game, but when I called him up, he's been playing the 4 and the 3 ever since then on shots line, which both of them have been great pickups, great players. Our Draymond's aren't as active as I like it to be, but it is what it is when you're having 4 superstars, and one of them's not going to get a lot of shots all the time.
Right.
My Clays have been great. I got Rhea from Island Gang, was a pickup after a blacklist. I can't even remember who started out on my Clay. Eurostep was, and then Swizz quit on me. Mm-hmm. And I had to move Eurostep to KD, so then I got a pickup for that Rhea dude. But overall, both lines have been playing. Each line lost 1 game, 1 to the Clippers and 1 to the Grizzlies, ironically, who we have to play next round, whichever one wins.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're all talking in our team chat. They're ready to get. Most of them's already won a ring. They're ready to get their 2nd ring. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to tell I know we got the Warriors, but don't be too hyped yet. Never anything can happen. KD Curry go down next week. The whole situation changes.
Ooh, yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah, the whole situation changes. So, I mean, it's been an overall good season. I have fun. I've played with most of the dudes that I've got on my team, so they all know how I play, and I know how they play. So, overall, it's been a fun, successful season. So,
now, before I move on to the other teams, we talk about other teams, allow me to be salty real quick. In the owner's chat, you said you would pick me up. And I said, if I play Clay, I will average 23 easy. And the one game I played with you, I scored exactly 23.
Hey man, like I said, I mean, I've talked to a bunch of people about this dude. The problem, I don't know if you ever were told, but like when I was bidding, I made a rookie mistake, and I was trying to bid on Woody V2 to start off.
Uh-huh.
And just a $500K bid. I knew he was going to go for more because he was on the list, of course. And I ended up bidding on the wrong Woody, which was Raval's friend. And that dude said he didn't even want to play. So here I got stuck with a dude on $500K, and that's just automatically a spot field after all these other dudes. And after that, I couldn't make any changes. I had to just go with what I had. And trust me, I looked. I was like, God, is there anybody that can bid on me? I need 2 good Clays because I can't have people missing wide open corner threes if I'm double teamed.
Right.
And nobody wanted him. I even asked Raval, I was like, bro, he's your dude. You're in chats with him, talking every day. Like, come on, man,
Yeah.
But trust me, I tried. And then I even tried to get you when Miz put you up on the block.
Oh, yeah.
And Miz he said I had nothing to offer compared to Ice. So
yeah.
Well.
And I ain't mad at you because,
I got told Revols, I'll get you just like I said to Revols, man. Revols says he doesn't want to be an owner next year, and I'm going to try and go for owner again. So I said, hey, I can get some people that I know, man. Tired of playing with the same people. Like you said, need to change it up every now and then.
Right. All right. I'm just still a little salty, but it's all good.
We'll win a ring for you. Don't worry.
Let's talk about the Grizzlies and the Clippers because those are your competition. You about to find out who you face next. First off, who do you think is going to win between the 2 teams?
I think the Clippers are going to win.
Why?
I do. I would say Majestic and G's line. I can't remember who's playing the power forward on that line now, but their line is just as good as Ramo's line. Just because Blake and DeAndre are in that paint, so Ramo's not going to be necessarily getting offensive rebounds when he's working. Because don't get me wrong, Melo be balling. He's played good this season, but it comes down to whether or not Ramo plays good for that line to win. If Ramo has a bad game, it's a good chance they're going to lose. Mm-hmm. And for instance, like when the other night when shots got blown out by the Clippers, they double teamed the stars the whole time. They made the role players beat them.
Right.
And that's what they're going to do when they play the Grizzlies. They're going to take both Marc Gasols out of the picture and do whatever they can to make sure all those other dudes are outside hitting their threes all game, and and then they're paintball heavy. And Marc Gasol is a good defender, but when you have two dudes with a 96 stand dunk and 95 plus contact dunks in the paint on you, you're not blocking them every time.
Right.
It's pretty hard. So the only downfall is if G Money and them get heavy in the paint going and they don't kick out to their shooters, which could really hurt them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, for instance, when we play them, I leave shooters wide open on the top of the key just to go down and press X with Steph Curry. Because I can get lucky steals with gold pickpockets. So, I mean, if they can figure out that they need to pass out sometimes and when they need to go up and things like that, then I think the Clippers will win. Because Raymond M has a good line, and Crow's line's not bad, but Crow's line's not good as either one of those lines with DeAndre and Blake in the game.
Right. And my pick would be the Clippers, too, just because I played with them, and I was on Majestic and G's line. And in one game I scored 23, and the other one I did 27. And it's not because I did anything in special. It's just the point guard and center was dominating the game.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Everybody has to worry about them, bro. It's a problem I thought about the whole time. Like, God, what about if we just get in a game with them and they can't get stopped? Like, they're just dunking everything. Like, I don't know. I feel bad for my centers when that shit happens.
Yeah, because DeAndre is nasty, and I just hit my shots when because
if y'all's wings hit y'all's shots, then if their wings hit their shots, the Clippers are by far just as hard to guard as anybody.
Yeah, they're easily the second best team in the West. I don't know why people like the Trailblazers so much.
Yeah, Trailblazers is good if you have a good role, like a system around you, like a good screener, and it's one of those things where you got to let Lillard work, and once he starts getting double teamed, then everything else opens. But the Clippers are definitely the best team, second best team.
Now with the East, I know it's a little bit more close. It's a lot closer, but who you see coming out of the East? I don't have the standings in front of me. I'm gonna pull it up.
I think it's the Raptors and Cavs play first round. And the Cavs are going to come out of that because like I said, Revolve's my dude. I just don't think his team's going to show up. I feel bad for him. I mean, he bid it like $5 million and corrupted quit in the middle of the season. Which, I mean, I've heard that he does that often. But yeah, I would say the Cavs just because they're a better all around team. If the Raptors had two really good Lowrys and two centers that knew how to set a screen and hold it, let that Lowry work, and then DeRozan eat off him, kind of like me and Swizz did last year.
Yeah.
Then I would pick them in a heartbeat to even come out of the East. But as right now, I don't feel like they have two Lowrys that necessarily can take over a game and just score 35, 40 points a game just to get them through a hump.
And that would make the Cavs and the Celtics play. So who do you think that will win between those two?
I believe the Cavs will. That's what I would say.
Really? Why is that?
I think the Cavs will win that. Well, first off, Dom's going to be in New Orleans, so he won't be playing, which takes away their best player on their whole roster. I would also say that if the second line for the Cavs can pull out a win. Don't get me wrong, I think the Celtics all around are one of the best rosters, but I think these Cavs are going to start trying to figure out, like my man was explaining the other night on the show, him and his LeBron got it going now, they know when each other has to bring it up, one of them has to be aggressive. As long as they can do that, and whatever line E-Money's on for the Celtics, if they can contain him, E-Money's the second best player on that team, honestly.
Right.
And I mean, he's doing crazy things right now, Al Horford, and I mean, I would love to have him as a big, but he doesn't want to be a screen setter. So, but if they could contain him and get the second line can get a few wins, maybe one or even two wins, then there's no way that the Cavs should lose that series. But you never know. Like I said, I don't know if Mo's going to play now that he lost today in Island game. I don't know if he's going to show up. Him and Rondo both lost today.
Man.
So they could be without Mo, which is a good Isaiah.
Yeah.
They could be without Mo, Rondo, and Dimes come playoffs. So.
Wow, that would hurt.
Yeah, so I mean, if they're going to win, somebody definitely has to step up. And I know, I from what I understand, there's problems going on between Remix and Woody. I mean, I guess I don't know too much about it, but that's not a good thing to have going into the playoffs when you're arguing with somebody. And I mean, from what I heard, he doesn't really even join like party chats with them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know that's not good. So
yeah. I mean, so we talked about all the playoff bound teams, but I just want to kind of touch on the teams that didn't make it: Trailblazers, Thunder, Pacers, Knicks. In my opinion, I think they are all bad team picks. Not who they bidded on, but just the team themselves. At any of those positions, like, do you think the Pacers are a bad team pick? Well, we'll start with the Pacers.
Let's see. He moved up and took them at 4. When
yeah,
I think he had,
5.
I think he might have had 7th or 8th pick is what he would have had. So I didn't really see the point because nobody was going to take him in the top 7, 8. I mean, maybe not even the top 10. The Pacers aren't a bad team, but the way they played with them was really bad. And plus, he lost a lot of cap just trying to go up places when he could have picked somebody. For instance, I think it was. Well, how did it go? It went Warriors, Cavs, Raptors, or Blazers. I think is what the top 5 was. I think Miz got the Clippers at like 7. Like I would definitely, or 6, 5, something like that. I would definitely take the Clippers over the Pacers, and I definitely would have took the Knicks over the Pacers. But I mean, I guess it just he had a mindset going in. You know, Paul George and Miles Turner, which are both very good, and then 3 role players around him. Which I mean, unfortunately, it didn't work for him. So, but I definitely wouldn't have drafted him that high.
I think like my personal problem with all these teams that we're going to talk about is their defense is really, really weak down low. Like the Trailblazers, they got good like centers. They can kind of shoot and everything, and so can the Pacers. But they're not stopping DeAndre. They're not stopping any good center at all, and that's why I think they're kind of bad picks. But the reason why we're going to talk about the Knicks, I think the Knicks are a bad team is because they literally only have one good player, and that's Porzingis. Melo is not as good as he should be, and I personally did good with Courtney Lee, but it seems like nobody else is doing good with him.
Which doesn't make sense because he's a great 2 guard. I don't like. I mean, he's not like stand out the best 2 guard in there, but he's knocked down. Like he should be knocked down.
Yeah, like I did good with him, and that's why I got my first All-Star with him. But nobody else is doing good with him, and Derrick Rose is not as good as he's supposed to be, and Joakim Noah is Joakim Noah. But would you have took the Knicks somewhere, or are you higher on them than I am?
I mean, I definitely like. I can't remember, of course, where they took him, but I definitely liked. I knew it was like later on. It might have been like 7th, 8th that he got him. I definitely would have. I would have probably took him higher than that. I would have probably took them like 4th, 5th. I could say them right up there with the Clippers because right at that time Blake wasn't up there. Yeah. I've played with Melo, and Melo, I like playing with him, but you have to play a certain way. And the problem I think that they had is their Melos and their Roses didn't really mesh, I would say. Which, I mean, because Melo definitely has to play off ball in that situation, so you have to have somebody that's going to be really, like, a really good point guard, and that could open it up for people. And I know D-Rose can't shoot threes necessarily, but we just played him in a money series, and we left the dude open for most of the game, honestly.
Right.
And I mean, which that sucks, but that's when they should have made a thing like, oh, if that's me and if I'm seeing my Rose struggle, I'm saying, I'll bring the ball up with Melo. You guys go ahead and just put in, like, for instance, like Courtney Lee and Justin Holiday. Use them at the 1 and the 2. That's 2 great corner shooters with like 85 plus threes, right. And then you let Noah, or right now I think it's O'Quinn or whatever, but you let them 3 work in the paint because Melo's he's strong. I don't know if you ever play with him, but like he literally bodies people.
Who?
So Melo. So like if you go in a post up, like you can just push people all the way down underneath the paint. Like he makes contact layups and everything like that. You just got to play a certain way with the team.
Yeah, because I know his jumper is not as consistent as it should be.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
All right, so the recording we had lost connection for a second, but I got Shump back with me. We was talking about the Knicks, but we can pretty much move on. The Trailblazers, evidence took them at number 3. Do you think that's a good team?
I like them. Personally, just because I play point guard and I did it with Kyle Lowry last year. But I mean, you got to play a certain way. You spot up shooters got to know that you got to stand still. Unfortunately, that's one of those teams where you got to have 2 corner monkeys, as they call it. I've been there. I've done that. Trust me. You gotta have those dudes that are willing to sit there, and when they're open, they're gonna shoot and make shots. If not, then it all goes downhill. Unfortunately, like this year, I played against them numerous times. Fab's line. We made those dudes make shots. We didn't let Damian Lillard beat us, for instance, which sucks and which is a downfall of them. If you stop Damian Lillard, the Trailblazers aren't too good.
Yeah. And lastly, the Thunder. Was that a okay pick? He picked him
when I seen that
9.
I had. He had him at 9. Yeah, when I seen that I had 10th pick, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, "Yep, well, guys, I'm sorry. Anybody I told was gonna bet on me, I'm getting the Thunder, and it's maybe a little selfish reasons, because Russell Westbrook is a dog on this game. He really is. But like I said, it's. I think it was selfish too at the same point because there is better teams out there. Mm-hmm. The Spurs are a way better team. The Rockets at that point were a better team. I think Capella might have been out, but I still think they were like a better team. So I mean, I would have probably took them at 10 just because I like being a dude that could run the show, which that is a team that you can run the show. Which I think Trainer had the right idea, get that team, bid on JT and Dimes. But for then some reason he didn't let them both play Westbrook, so I didn't really get that. But it's iffy. That's the one team that I think could be traded out within that top 10 that should have been picked or not.
Right. Now, I'm gonna say I'm biased on this, but why is I'm from Atlanta, so why do the Hawks don't get any love?
I don't think on 2K their shooters aren't enough. If they still had Kyle Korver, then yeah, they would probably be picked, but Hardaway is good, and Bazemore is like a good slashing type. Mm-hmm. But besides the Clippers, there isn't too many teams in the league. I mean, I guess you can say the Grizzlies now that are like big dominant necessarily, which that's what the Hawks are. You get the ball to Millsap, you get the ball to Dwight. A lot of dudes that play point guard are like, who wants to play with Dennis Schroeder? True. You know what I mean? And a lot of the teams that are in the league, their top so players are point guards. There's only a few big men that are considered top players in the league. So you're always going to go out. Either they may be an owner like me, or they may be someone that they're definitely going to get. They may be like, you're going to play point guard for this line, and once you tell them you're going to play with Dennis Schroeder, they're probably just going to tell you to just get on somewhere because they're not going to play Dennis Schroeder for you.
Right.
But I like the Hawks, I really do, and especially before they traded Korver, because Korver give them that extra piece where you could have put you could have ran Tim Hardaway at the 1 and probably been all right as long as you had good big men.
Yeah, I didn't even think about putting Hardaway at the 1. It could work.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to ask everybody this and just their opinions on this. They even talked about this on NBA 2K TV when talking about the Pro-Am tournament. Mm-hmm. What is up with everybody running this same offense? 2 in the corner, point guard, center, pick and roll. Everybody does it.
My offense in the EBA.
And if you're not doing it in the EBA, a lot of people don't do it in EBA because a lot of people are not. They just get thrown together and they just play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I've played some Pro-Am with people, and that's what we did. All this whole tournament, that's what everybody did. They even said it, even the developer and Rachel Demita said it. That it's all what is up with that offense? Why is everybody running it?
Well, the pick and roll is by far the best thing this year. You can see it in team up, you can see it in pro-am. I run it with Curry and McGee, and it works every time. And then pro-am, you got I guess I can say that the Warriors are pretty much a pro-am team. So you can't leave those dudes open that are in a corner, because if they get open, it's a good chance it's going to be a green light and 3 points. So what they're doing in pro-am too is they're running this offense where they might have a sharp in each corner, and then they might have a sharp or a slasher or a lockdown, something like that out there as well. And then they're letting that point guard go 2-on, point guard and big man go 2-on-2 with the point guard and the other big man. So if you see people helping, then you make the right pass, and you got a 3-pointer. Which unfortunately, that's what Space Jam ran in today. They ran into a 5-out offense, and that's what hurt them. Space Jam's a known helping team, so when they see a pick and roll or LT animation and they're going around somebody, they're there to help. And the point guard today was making great passes, and like JT was saying, and we overhelp, and instead of giving up a 2, we're giving up 3s, which ends up hurting them today. So yeah, it's just more spacing for a player to work. I hate it. I've been there. I do it still in money leagues. Trust me. I play a start in EBA, but I still play a spot up shooter in money leagues. And I sit in a corner and I watch my point guard and my big man, or like for instance, we have the Cavs right now in their money league, and I watch LeBron and a big man do whatever they got to do. And if I become open, they'll pass me the ball, and all you can do is knock down the shot. So. It is what it is, it's all about spacing, really. You don't want to be everybody running. The number one thing that I cannot stand is if I'm dribbling a ball and somebody run around me. Oh, I cannot stand that, because if their dude bumps me and I lose the ball, or if their dude comes over there and I'm double teamed and I throw a bad pass, I can't stand the fact that if somebody will run around me. So I guess that's why most of the corners are filled, and you have 1 and 2 up top, and and then you, like you said, the pick and roll. So, and it's dangerous. It really is. Because the more, what I do in EBA is I'll dribble back and forth on the screens, and either I'll get a shot eventually because that screen's going to set, or that big man has to come up out of the paint. I'm going to get a dump down to a big, which could lead to a dunk, or if those wings come down and help, or corners help, then that could kick out to a 3. So it's a lot of options after working off that.
Do you think it can kind of make the game boring? Like, everybody's doing it, especially if you're one of the post-up guys, just kind of sit there and all you're really doing all game is just playing defense?
Yeah, it does. And trust, like I said, I've been there, and I feel that's why I try to get my dudes that are sitting in the corner ball as much as possible, because I've been there. When they're open, I throw it to them as soon as they are open, because I've been there. I've had games where I've had 1 shot. I've had games where I've had 0 shots. Yeah. And it happens, and unfortunately, I don't necessarily think it should happen in the EBA, because you're here to have fun, and people don't want to necessarily play. You have some people that'll be like, oh yeah, I'll play this role when I'm open, I'll get it, or I'll leak the whole time, and I mean that's good. I mean, that's, if you have people like that, and that's how I am in those money leagues. Like, I'll leak all game for you, and I'll play defense, but when I'm open, get me the damn ball.
Right.
So I mean, as long as you got good people around you, it doesn't get too boring. But if you're just standing there and you're watching dudes chuck, and trust me, I'm one in EBA. I'm one for chucking too. I shoot a lot of shots in EBA, but like I said, I get my 2 dudes the ball. If I'm getting double team, I'm not going to go in there and just chuck it if somebody's open in a corner. I don't like them to just stand there. I let KD bring the ball up some. Draymond brings it up some on fast breaks. It's just, you got to find a way to work with it. But when it comes down to it, the best offense would be that spread out offense, so you can let your stars work.
Right. All right. I got a couple of more questions, and then I'll let you go.
Cool.
All right. I don't know if you know these guys personally, but are you aware of what happened in the EBA chat, right? On GroupMe.
I've seen it, and I left it ASAP.
All right. So, I'm thinking they're a group of friends. Mm-hmm. So, why are grown men have saved pictures. It's saved on their phone. It's stored on their phone's memory for them to do that. Why is that a thing with that group of people?
It sucks to say, but it's the same group it's the same group of friends in every chat it's ever happened in that I've been involved in. I think it's happened in EBA chat before too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened in the Pro M chat. I've seen it in 2K Gods chat, Trey Beasley's chat. I mean, tons of chats I've seen it in. And I mean, I think it's gay is what I'll say in general. No, not trying to be offensive or anything. That you even a regular picture of a dude, how a dude looks, right. We're in a group full of dudes, 100 dudes, 50 dudes, whatever, and you're posting what other grown men look like, and especially when, if it's a picture that they may have on their logo or something or on their avatar, when you're hiding behind like a cartoon picture or something, it don't make no sense to me. I've never indulged myself in that kind of stuff, so I guess I'm too old for that. I don't know if these dudes are too young still, if they're in their teens still or whatever, but I mean, I don't get the point. I don't know if they're trying to be funny. Like it's not really funny. Like everybody's just like, what the fuck? Like, why are you doing that? Like nobody's laughing at you.
Right. It's like, it's not funny, and like I said, it's not trying to be offensive, but it's just gay.
It is, I'm not trying to be offensive at all. Like, why in the hell do you have dick pictures of another dude on your phone? Like, what?
Because, like, it happened in the Trailblazers team chat before it spilled over there, and just when I was saying in there is like you have to search for it, like you have to type it out,
like they're typing it on Google, like dick pics, like what?
Like you really have to go out of your way for it. So I don't understand, but okay. And I know you kind of like they're money league people, so you probably know them better than I do. And I was just
the crazy thing is though, those certain people won't do it in that money league chat because Fab got banned in there before for it. Fab did it a long time ago and got banned for it.
Right.
And Fab, of course, he's matured since then, and he doesn't associate with it. I mean, I know it's his. From what I understand, it's his people doing it, but I know he's not necessarily doing it. So I mean, that group's they're a bunch of weirdos anyway. Like I've talked to them before and everything like that. Like I'll be in a party with them, but it's just the things that they do on Group Me, and it's just I don't.
Yeah.
Like it's stuff that they will do on a group me, but they wouldn't do in real life. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just hiding behind stuff, trying to be funny.
All right, my last question is, you do plan on coming back as an owner, right?
Yes, sir. I definitely do. I had a great season. Warriors definitely helped that, but yeah, I definitely plan on coming back and building another team.
All right, and you have your VPLO here. Is there anything you would like to ask me about anything? And I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
I don't really have too much. Maybe do you have a clue when we're going to start doing all-star voting and things like that? I mean, I don't. Other than that, I don't really have any questions about it. I've had a good season.
James is getting all the
stats and stuff in.
Eligible people together right now. They just settled on how many games you need to have and all that. Mm-hmm. So all the owners and
I'm
GMs,
sure it'll be this week or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be faster than last season because
we had to do it twice too.
Yeah, and I hated having to step in, but
yeah, it happens.
All right, but I appreciate you taking the time and talking with me.
Of course.
And hopefully we'll do it again. Probably whenever your season ends, if it's next week or the week after.
Yeah. Hey, just let me know. I'm always free.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
Yep. Have a good one, bro.
All right.